Well, folks, I thought that Caleb Williams played a great game in London against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who obviously are currently in a slump. They're struggling. They have not played well. But regardless, Caleb Williams, and the Chicago Bears don't control the schedule that the National Football League gives them. Whether it be a front-loaded or back-loaded schedule, it doesn't matter. But I'm here to talk about Caleb Williams' performance. I thought he played exceptionally well in this game. He had a solid performance. He did everything he needed to do from, throwing the football as a passer within the pocket to win the Bears this football game. The first half was a very slow start. But in the second half, they cranked it up a notch and they scored some points, and they really left no question as to who went out and won that football game. Bears dominated, looked great offensively in the second half. And I wanted to sort of touch up on the Bears offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron. This guy is a fucking miserable little pile of fucking crap. This guy sucks as a coordinator because he is handcuffing his young gunslinger quarterback, because he wants his young quarterback to throw tunnel screens and throws at the line of scrimmage and little dinky fucking 2-yard checkdowns over and over and over and over and over again the whole goddamn game, expecting a different result every time he throws a little dinky fucking 2-yard pass to the flats. I mean, I don't know if he's being taught to do that, if it's some sort of choreographed mechanism. I hope it's not. But I'm not going to blame Caleb Williams for him throwing the flats, because it seems like half the play designs when it comes to throwing the football, airing it out, are under 3 yards, which is just not how you win against really good teams in the NFL. I feel like Waldron, the coordinator, and Eberflus got lucky. They were playing one of the worst teams in the NFL with a pretty mediocre at best defense. If they were playing a top defensive team, this would not fly. Waldron needs to desperately change how his offensive system and scheme works, or I don't know how many more wins the Bears are going to have. All I know is that Caleb Williams did everything he was asked to do and more, made some really elite-looking throws into windows, looking off guys, making cool-looking throws, but at the same time was efficient. Had one really floaty pass that was picked that was really bad into double coverage. It was a fucking horrible pass, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't even matter in the grand scheme of things. When you're throwing 4 touchdown passes, you can afford an interception. I mean, come on, let's be real here. Let's not sort of harp on that or dwell on that for too long. He threw the pick. It's bad. He's had a couple interceptions like that. Let's hope that doesn't continue against better defenses, because if it does, there's going to be cause for concern. But I thought this was, Caleb Williams' first truly great game in the NFL. I think this is his first good game. He had an acceptable game, a below average game, I believe, against the Panthers. But this game, to me, I think was really the game that solidified that, yeah, he has potential to be a star quarterback, a franchise quarterback. I thought he did a bit better going through progressions, getting through reads, because once again, Shane Waldron in his fucking NAIA incarnate word offense, for some unbeknownst to me reason, he absolutely fucking adores little tunnel screens and checkdowns. Why are you doing that? You don't need to be doing that. Throw 2 of those a game. 2 little dinky throws a game in the beginning of the game to get your quarterback in a rhythm. That's all. You don't need more than fucking 3 screens, 3 tunnel screens, or 3 line screens a game. That's not something that you need to have in the game plan. It's, okay, Caleb, we're going to throw 10 passes either at the line or below the line of scrimmage this game, because we want to get you in a rhythm, in a flow in this game. You don't need that many line screens. You don't need that many fucking swing passes. You don't need that. That shouldn't be in the game plan. So take that out, Shane Waldron, you fucking miserable, absolute fucking clown of a coordinator. I project the guy will get fired by week 13, because I think against some of the better teams, especially the divisional opponents, they're going to lay eggs. And I don't think it will necessarily be Caleb's fault, because right now he's working with high school play calling. This is play calling you call for Gardner Minshew, not Caleb. Not a strong-arm, young rookie quarterback that's touted as generational like Caleb Williams. You want him to let it rip down the field, and you're handcuffing him. You're not letting him throw it past 20 yards down the field. Not even letting him throw it past fucking 10 yards. He threw it 5 times past 10 yards, or 6 times past 10 yards. You're not letting the guy let it rip. Or maybe from what I've seen, the concepts are all short. They're all dinky. They suck. Shane Waldron is a fucking miserable dwarf. He sucks. I never heard of the guy until fucking 3 days ago, or today, or whatever the fuck. the guy's horrible. I had to look him up to know who the fuck he was because he's so irrelevant. Nobody knows who the fuck he is. Apparently he was with, I think, Seattle when he sucked there, and he's going to suck with the Bears. So just because you go to a different team doesn't mean you're not going to suck as a coordinator. Kellen Moore's taught us this time and time again, but people refuse to realize this. But Caleb played a good game. I thought he was going through progressions well. Pocket presence was solid. This game was a step up from some of the other games. He took a couple sacks, but he wasn't trying to do any like crazy bullshit where he'd run around and lose 20 yards. He had a couple plays where he bailed clean pockets. I didn't like it. That's still a concern. He still had some pretty glaringly obvious flaws in this game to me, but they were toned down because of how well he was, throwing the ball and, throwing in rhythm and playing within this system, which is all he could do in this game because, let's be honest, Shane Waldron's calling fucking horrible games left, right, and center. Once they start playing teams like the Packers, the Lions, and the Vikings, they're in for a rude awakening. Seriously, this is going to get really ugly really fast. But Caleb did indeed play great in this game. I rewatched it 2 times, and I didn't really see any other really risky day. He threw a couple mad passes, but most of the incompletions honestly were throwaways. I'm pretty sure 4 of the incompletions were throwaway passes. So he was really accurate to every level of the field. And I thought he played within the offense well, and he did everything that you could ask him to do to win this football game. This is his first truly good game in the NFL. And, you'd think that there's only really up to go from here. They do play shitty teams. They play the Cardinals, which, that's basically a fucking college team. I guarantee you can take you can take Georgia, and they'd probably fucking I know a lot of people say, oh, well, the best college team wouldn't beat the worst. And you're telling me that there's... The Cardinals' defense is one of the worst defenses in the NFL. There's no fucking way that they would play remotely good against fucking a team that is really the Cardinals suck. They have a dwarf at quarterback too, so it doesn't make it any fucking better. But Caleb did play well in this game. He did everything he needed to do. He did his part. But Shane Waldron, you're a fucking miserable dwarf, and you'll be fired by week 13. You won't have a job by week 13 because you fucking suck so much. Matt Eberflus is a horrible coach. The Bears are gonna go through a bunch of coaches in the next 3 years, and then it's just gonna be a shit show. But regardless, Caleb Williams did everything he needed to do and looked great doing it. That's what matters. Looking good doing it, not looking pedestrian. If you look pedestrian doing it, people call you a system quarterback. But I don't think this is a case of him, playing within the system, because he had plays that was, out of structure that were really good. He had a couple of scrambles that I was very impressed by. It wasn't just bail out of the pocket immediately. It was make a couple reads and start running, take off if there's a lane to run. And that's what he did, and he did it perfectly in this game. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.